anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
What's up, guys? Oda King Live coming at you again for another retro game throwback. Now, as you already know, today's game is Pokémon Blue on the original Game Boy. Now, this is my actual copy of Pokémon from when I was a kid. Amazingly enough, it is one that I didn't sell. It's one that actually survived with me through the ages. I honestly don't know how it happened because I sold most of my games off. If not pretty much all of them. I must have just, really liked Pokemon and kept it around. So amazingly enough, it survived, the teenaged, I'm too cool for video games now apocalypse. So, this was the copy that I got when I was, I guess I would have been about 11, maybe 12. I remember I was in public school when I got this. We're talking 30 years ago. I got this when it came out. I originally played it on my black and white Game Boy in public school. Now, I remember, I know I took this to school, but I stopped for a while because I remember losing a copy of Super Mario World on the Game Boy, taking it to school. I don't know if someone stole it or I just lost it. I was a kid, right? And kids lose things and kids take things. So, it wasn't the best time taking stuff to school back in the day, especially nowadays. God, kids probably take everything to school. But back in the day, I didn't take this to school too often. I honestly don't remember playing it with anybody. I don't remember trying to link up. I do remember linking up a few years later and trading some of the rare Pokemon that, you could only get off Red and things like that. But at the time of its initial release, I just played it normally by myself and that was it. I have no idea where I got it from. I have no idea how I got it. I assume my parents bought it for me from Zellers or something. Don't believe Walmart existed back then. So that's pretty much the only place I could think it came from. Maybe Byway. I don't know what was around back then. But it's still pretty minty fresh. It's a little beat up. It's a little bent up. I don't know how I managed to get blue over red. I guess, I just went with blue. Yellow came out afterwards. So, most people probably would have got the yellow. Because it's got the main man Pikachu on the cover. But for all things 30 years ago, I got blue. And, I'm not even a Blastoise fan. I always pick Leaf whenever I play. I always go with Bulbasaur. That's actually who I picked, amazingly enough. So, we're talking some old school black and white graphics here. It's the original Pokemon Blue. I'm really impressed by my case here, and this is what I hate about these old cardboard cases, and especially these Game Boy ones. The Nintendo ones are the exact same. You open them up from here, but you always got to go through the middle. If you go from the edges, it catches on these tabs, and you end up ripping them if you try it, because obviously you can see I tried to lift it there and bent it all to hell. So you always got to go through the middle here, and what I always end up doing is bending it right there. Bend. It always bends in the middle there. It's a nightmare to try, and then I always try and straighten it out. It's always a nightmare to try and open these old cardboard boxes without bending the crap out of them right there. So got your little sleeve here, and that's your game in there. I love the way, they used to tuck them away in here. Let's see if we can pull these bad boys out. Your manual. Come on, give me my game. And then your Game Boy game came with, of course, the sweet little protective case. And then there is my original Game Boy Blue in all of its pristine minty glory. Honestly, I can remember one thing from this game, and not being able to beat the Final Four or Elite Four, whatever they're called. I was never actually able to beat the game. I wasn't strong enough. I, didn't have enough items, who knows what, but I actually never did beat it. I should bust out one of my old Game Boys and stick this sucker in, see if it still has my save data on it or not, see if the battery's gone, who knows. It's a Nintendo product, more than likely it's still good. Look at it, one to zoom in on everything but it. And then the manual too, Pokemon Trainer's Guide. Don't know if this was blue specific, it's probably the exact same one in red. Yeah, there's Charmander now, and then possibly yellow as well. I don't have the yellow box, which is sucky. Who did you pick? I went Bulbasaur. And look at this. This is the old school Nintendo manual right here. Full color, you know, thick as hell. All the items, you know, and other information you would have needed on the backstory. I mean, I would have read this when I was a kid. I would have read the hell out of this. Granted, as, you know, an adult, yes, I didn't read the manuals anymore, but when I was a kid, I read the crap out of this stuff. I guess because you didn't have phones and everything, so this is what you had to look at. Pokemon.com. Talk to a game counselor for all your tips and tricks. Not sure if that still exists. Pokemon Player's Guide. That might be worth a couple bucks if you got one. And then the Nintendo Authorized Repair Centers. Honestly, never had Nintendo not really work, so never actually had to send one in, never mind a game outside of blowing it on it. But hey, that's it for this little quickie episode of retro gaming. And hey, leave a like if you like Pokemon, and comment down below what one you had when you were a kid, or what one do you want in this day and age. And I'll talk to you next time. Peace.